Well, hello everybody and welcome to Netchuk Arts. Today's topic, vinyl review of a couple of albums that I picked up in the used vinyl bin. And I'll be doing it while I'm enjoying this wonderful beer, Windsor Porter, that I received as a gift from Laker Dave. Windsor Porter from Russian River. They make good stuff, so you know this is good stuff. And if you're interested, check down below. You'll see my previous video is a beer review of this. All right. I'll be having a swig of this in between I speak to you about today's vinyl. Album number 1, The Kinks, Low Budget. We all know that song. We remember that song. This Kinks album is, of course, a must for any Kinks fan, and I would push that it's a must for any rock and roll collector as well. Kinks Low Budget, let's get right to it. Side 1 plays like a greatest hits of the Kinks. Starts out with Attitude, Catch Me Now I'm Falling, Pressure, National Health, all big radio play songs back in the day. Really good songs that still hold up today. I Wish I Could Fly Like Superman closes out side 1. Little bit of disco, my guilty pleasure. I've got a few guilty pleasure disco songs that I love to listen to. Heart of Glass from Blondie comes to mind immediately, and this, I Wish I Could Fly Like Superman, which I'm going to peg to the outside musical influences of disco, of course, that nobody could avoid at that time. Everybody was putting disco songs on their albums, and not everybody did it successfully. The Kinks nailed it with Superman. This low budget LP is their first album recorded outside of the UK. They came over to New York, recorded this album. You can pick up on outside influences that the Kinks are playing with and incorporating into their sound. As we mentioned, disco. You'll hear the Rolling Stones in here. You'll hear a dash of punk, which was birthing at the time for kids who were young and just couldn't get into rock and roll and couldn't get into 24-minute guitar solos. The punk movement was being born and smashing the conventions of rock and roll. And here the Kinks feel that musical energy and infuse a bit of it into their album. Other influences are the national mood of the United States at the time. High inflation, people not making much money, people scrambling, hence the low budget title, and even a song about getting your hands on a gallon of gas and how difficult that is. All right, so the Kinks, side 1, really great play, and side 2, I never owned the album myself, and I grew up listening to a lot of these songs on the radio. This is the first time that I've owned the LP, and this is new for me. Little bit of emotion, this ballad on side 2. What a great song. Great songwriting, great musicianship. It all comes together in a lovely, smooth ballad. Smooth, like Windsor Porter from Russian River. A smooth ballad. That it's the kind of song that when it finishes, you just want to pick up the needle and put it and play it one more time because it was that good. You just want to groove on it and focus on what a beautiful song it is. So the Kinks, low budget, album number 1, good. Does it hold up over all the years? You bet. You see this, add that to your collection. Chances are you've already got it, right? I'm late to the party on that one. Well, how about this one? Have you got this in your collection? Phantom, Rocker, and Slick. 2 ex-Stray Cats, Slim Jim Phantom, Lee Rocker, the rhythm section of the Stray Cats. After the Stray Cats broke up and Sting got a big head and he wanted his MTV and he ran off to be a solo artist, these two guys did not fade into infinity. They hooked up with David Bowie's part-time guitarist, session guitarist playing on Bowie's early albums and touring with Bowie behind those albums, Earl Slick. Take 2 Stray Cats and a David Bowie guitarist, throw them in a room, and you're bound to get some good rock and roll. And that's what happened here. Really hard driving stuff. They pushed the drums upward, so it's a big bass, powerful driving beat. You've got Slim Jim Phantom on the double bass singing the vocals, and then you've got Earl Slick dropping guitar licks in there. Really nice little trio put together. Extra added treat on this 80s album, extra added treat, My Mistake features in the background, listen closely, for Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones, playing a backup guitar in the background. It's really too bad the producers left Keith's guitar in the back, but listen for it. It's there. You can hear it. He got the credit on the album. I wish they pushed his sound up a bit more, but otherwise, bonus of Keith Richards. These guys, Phantom Rocker and Smith, they put out Slick, Phantom Rocker and Slick. They put out 2 albums. This is their debut. They got a lot of airplay on MTV back at the time, and their big song was Men Without Shame. And to be honest, I wasn't really all that impressed with that MTV song. It got all the airplay because it had a video, and that's what ruled music back then. I owned this album way back in the 80s. I picked it up, I bought it, and I loved it then. I love it now. If you're cleaning out the garage, if you're kicking it in your front room with the door open and you want to blow some rock and roll out there for other people to hear just as loudly as you, whatever it is, this is good, solid rock and roll that you haven't really heard so many times that you're tired of it, and it just works as a good old-fashioned guitar, bass, drums. What more do you need? A good beer for listening. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for enjoying album talk today, vinyl talk. I'll see you again soon, Netchuk Arts. As always, please remember, subscribe below. Please hit like. Let's grow this channel. Peace.